All right, how are you today?
I'm great. It's great to be here. Great energy, so it's fantastic.
So how did you get involved with this event today?
Well, you know, I did a talk here at Home Depot a number of years ago, and so they've consistently been a supporter of, I think, the work that I've been doing and what I represent. And when they told me about this HBCU program that they have, I couldn't help but want to support it.
And how important do you feel this event is, you know, to give back to HBCUs and maybe not other kind of colleges?
Well, let's be clear. HBCUs right now are under attack. You know, we've heard it from our president. We've heard that there may be funding cut. You know, to me, historically black colleges and universities in America, this is American history. It's not just black history, it's American history. And the work that these schools do is so vitally important. You know, unfortunately, many of our young people are coming out of school districts where they're not necessarily completely equipped for their first year of school. So HBCUs do two different things at the same time. They actually get students up to the college level, and then they graduate them through. And so they're doing more work in many ways, in a better way than many other institutions. And so supporting them is supporting America. And so that's why I'm here.
And we are all tied together in a single garment of mutual destiny. We are all tied together in a single garment of mutual destiny, which means no matter how well I may be doing in Hollywood or how well Laz is doing, he's doing better than me, but how well he's doing, or any of you at Home Depot, or how well the Home Depot stock is doing, since we're all tied together in a single garment of mutual destiny, if our young brothers or sisters are not doing well, then we're not doing very well. Because that has to be our barometer. I was recently in Baltimore City, and this isn't to call them out because this sad statistic is replicated in city after city after city. But I was in Baltimore recently, and I did some research, and I found out that the graduation rate of young African American men in the Baltimore City School District is below 38%. That's the graduation rate, right? Now, I own a few businesses, and I own a few restaurants, and if I had a 38% rate of serving people food, they would shut me down, right? But we continue to allow public school districts across this country to undereducate our young people. And then who's left with the burden to actually make it? It's the HBCUs. Oftentimes, our HBCUs have to accept students, unfortunately, that aren't quite college ready. But what they have to do then is get them college ready and then get them with a college degree and out the door within 4 years, because many of those students can't afford to stay more than 4 years. So the work that HBCUs do is doubling down on the work that many colleges that aren't HBCUs have to do. Just because, unfortunately, across this country, we've allowed our public school systems to be underfunded. We have fantastic educators out in our country, yet there are too few in many of our schools. So it's not the teachers' fault. In many ways, it's the structure. So what happens? Why is it important that Home Depot have a Retool Your School program? It's important because we know that corporate responsibility, we know that it's critical that if a corporation recognizes that their customers look like us, that their employees look like us, that not only when you support HBCUs are you supporting a program and a system that actually can feed you talent, but also feed you customers. And also makes the country better, because historically black colleges and universities, it's not about black college, it's about, this is American history. HBCUs are American history. I'm the product of, and literally when I say a product of HBCU, I'm the product, my parents met at Howard Medical School. And so, but for Howard, I wouldn't even be here. My mom went to Talladega undergrad before she went to Howard Med. My grandfather, who was a pharmacist in Seneca, South Carolina, it's a small town, he had a small pharmacy called Piedmont Pharmacy, served the African American community during Jim Crow segregation from all around. He went to Fisk. My grandfather, who was a physician in Iowa, went to Howard and sequentially sent all of his 4 other brothers to medical school at Howard. Started a hospital in a small town in Iowa called Fort Madison, Iowa, because during, right before the Great Depression, none of the banks would accept his money. when he was earning money as a newly practicing physician, the bank wouldn't take a black man's money. So he had cash, and when the Great Depression hit, he took the cash along with his brothers that had gone to Howard, and they bought up a city block and opened up the first black hospital in the state of Iowa. It served 4 states around where women would come. It was an OBGYN hospital where women, African-American women, would come and give birth to babies. The proud legacy of HBCUs weaves throughout all of us in so many important ways. And why is it so important that today we support this? Because our president just told us a few days ago that he is considering cutting federal funding for infrastructure on HBCU. We certainly can't count on the government. So we have to look at each other, and we have to count on ourselves. And then we have to look at the places where we work, and the stocks that we buy, where we are shareholders, the places where we shop. And we have to look at Home Depot and say, it's fantastic that you're doing this program. Because hopefully this program becomes a model of replication. And we hold other places where we shop, work, and buy stock to the same standard. Certainly Home Depot, and I hope it continues to lead in this area, but I don't want it to truly be the sole leader in this space. Because we need other corporations to step in. And we need to apply, and I hope this is open source, the way you've actually done the program, because please share it. You put Lowe's up there, share it with Lowe's. We want them doing it too. So let's think about what's going to happen when we walk out of here. I call that the future. Like, what's next? Because oftentimes we have celebrations when we talk about these things, and everybody just goes back to their own life. So I just really want to focus on the future, which when you get out of here, my favorite quote about the future. And if anybody can tell me who said this without Googling it, I'll give you a prize. It may be a kind of an orange. The future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas, but rather the future belongs to those who can blend passion, reason, and courage into a personal commitment to the great ideals and enterprises of American society. Everybody know who said that real quick?
Mandela.
Mandela. Did I say that if you get it wrong, you owe me a prize? Bobby Kennedy said it many years ago. And just think about this in the work that Retool Your School is doing. The future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas. To me, Retool Your School is a bold project. It's a new idea. But rather, the future belongs to those who can blend, and this is where we come in as individuals. Blend passion, which means energy. What makes your heart beat faster? It's not HBCUs, I don't know what it is, because they are solving and helping in so many fundamental ways. Then the next word he uses is reason. And reason is an old-timey word that nobody really uses anymore, which I wish people used it more these days, because actually we probably have less problems if they actually use reason. Instead they just start tweeting, don't they? Reason means having a plan. It means having a blueprint. Something you guys know about. Actually, Retool Your School represents that. It's beautiful to see those planters because they're kind of laid out in a schematic. It was a nice shape, and it reminded me of a blueprint or a shape. So reasoning is just having a plan. So let's have energy to work a plan. And then finally, the most important word, it's my favorite word in English language, is the word courage. And courage, to be clear, is not the antithesis of fear. Courage, if you speak French, you know, or if you know Latin, or the etymology of the root of the word courage is cor, which means heart. So it's really about finding your heart and saying, this is the right thing to do, so I'm going to do it. This is the right thing to support, so I'm going to do it. Retool Your School is that. So I celebrate you guys today. I thank you for having me. And remember, work your passion, work your reasoning skills, and most importantly, stay in your heart. God bless you. Thanks for